Hey everyone and welcome. In property restoration, technology is supposed to make our lives easier, right? It's making things faster, more efficient, more data-driven. But what happens when that exact same data, the stuff that's meant to prove you did a great job, is the very thing that stops you from getting paid? Today we're diving into this huge drying data dilemma.
So let me ask you this, especially if you're in the restoration world. Has this happened to you yet? You've embraced remote monitoring, you're saving trips, you're being super efficient, and then, bam! All of a sudden, the data that's supposed to be your proof gets put under this intense microscope. It's happening more and more.
And this is why it all matters. This quote right here gets straight to the heart of the problem. We're not just talking about some academic debate over tech. No. We're talking about whether or not you can get paid for the work you've already done. It's a simple and honestly pretty brutal financial reality.
So you have to wonder, how did we even get here? I mean, how did this tool that was designed to make everything easier suddenly create this massive new billing nightmare? Well, it's kind of a classic case of the technology moving way faster than the paperwork needed to back it up.
Look, there's no doubt about it. Remote monitoring is the future. It's efficient, it's smart, but that efficiency has come with a catch, a whole new level of scrutiny. The very data that proves your job is dry and done is now being hit with these intense validation demands, and a lot of contractors, frankly, are just getting blindsided by it.
So what does this scrutiny actually look and feel like? Well, from what we're hearing from people in the industry, it's not really a review. It's more like a sudden pop quiz interrogation that happens right in the middle of a claim dispute. And the focus completely shifts from the final result, a dry building, to your process and the mountain of paperwork behind it.
And the questions, they just start flying at you. It starts with the basics, right? Are your tools certified? Can you prove it? And just like that, the burden of proof is thrown right back onto you.
Then it gets even more detailed. It's not good enough to just have calibrated sensors anymore. Oh no, now they want to know if you have a system to track every single one. Every data point now needs its own documented history.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The focus shifts to third-party validation. It's not about your internal records anymore. It's about a specific piece of paper, a certificate from the manufacturer that ties a specific serial number to a specific calibration date. You gotta have the receipt, basically.
And then, for the final blow, the interrogation turns inward, looking at your team. Who on your staff is actually certified to do this stuff? It's a total pivot away from the successful drawing job you delivered and toward this paper trail that can feel almost impossible to come up with on the spot.
Now, you might think the whole industry would have a united front on this, right? That everyone would be on the same page. But that is not the case at all. This intense scrutiny is actually happening inside this much bigger, ongoing debate where even top industry leaders seem to have completely conflicting views.
And this slide just perfectly sums up the whole conflict. You've got the CEO of Kahai Inc. saying that maybe 90% of readings could be fraudulent, but in the same breath, he's saying that technology is the inevitable future. So which one is it? It just shows you that this is a technology in transition. It's powerful for sure, but it is not yet standardized. And restoration specialist Lee Center hits on what a lot of people are feeling as a huge double standard. For years, decades even, the industry has relied on handheld meters without this crazy level of interrogation. So why is this new, more advanced technology being held to a completely different, almost impossibly high standard of proof? It's a great question. Okay, but amidst all this chaos and paperwork, a really powerful counterargument is starting to emerge, and it's one that builds a defense not on a stack of certificates, but on pure, simple logic.
And the concept is called baseline logic. It's a really simple, but honestly a profound idea. It argues that we should probably stop obsessing over whether the very first reading is absolutely perfect and certified, and instead we should focus on what the data shows us over time, the trend.
Okay, so here's how it works broken down by Will Tygart. Step 1. You establish a baseline. So let's just say a sensor is off by 2%. No big deal. That first reading is simply your starting line. Step 2. You analyze the trend. What really matters is the change from that starting point. If all the readings are consistently trending down, well, that's proof that drying is happening. And finally, Step 3. You verify with consistency. Think about it. What are the chances that 5 different sensors are all broken in the exact same way, showing the exact same incorrect trend? It's statistically almost impossible. The consistency itself becomes the proof.
So this really brings us to the final showdown, doesn't it? On one side, you have this demand for a perfect paper trail. And on the other, you have this really compelling argument that the data itself, when you just look at it logically, is all the validation you'll ever need. And this quote from Will Tiger, this is basically the mic drop for the whole baseline logic argument. It suggests that the data itself is your most reliable witness. That logical, consistent story being told by multiple sensors working together is way more powerful proof than some certificate that was printed 6 months ago and is sitting in a file cabinet somewhere.
Which really brings us back to the most fundamental question at the heart of this entire debate. As our technology keeps getting better and better, we have to decide what we are willing to accept as real proof. What truly demonstrates a successful outcome? So I'll leave you with this. What should be the ultimate proof? Is it that piece of paper, that certification in a file that just checks a box? Or is it the undeniable, logical story that the data is telling us right there on the screen? The answer to that is going to shape the future of validation in this industry, and it's a question every single contractor now has to be ready to answer.